What's up, you guys? We're back with some more college football picks this week. This is Beat the Odds College Football Edition on Odds Checker. Guys, how are we? Ready to get started with these picks?
I'm excited for bowl season. I am continuing to cling to a very narrow profitability margin. I was 5-4 on conference championship weekend. I've moved up to 8-7 on picks of the week, which for now we have on hiatus. And I am 50-43 against the spread in these videos. That is 53.7%, which is just like right on the edge of being good enough to pass muster and make some money. So I'm feeling great, Jason.
You are, we are both under the weather. However, you are above me in terms of profitability. I am, I'd call it like a game or two behind you. Picks of the week, however, we are even at 8-7.
It's been a long climb back for me because I was, I think, like 1-4 or something at some point in those picks of the week. So we've had to battle through some adversity, and we have. And much like the Cincinnati Bearcats, for instance, we have risen above all odds to get ourselves into contention at the end of the season.
Yeah, I failed to pick Alabama last week. That's all I have to say. Moving forward, I won't bet against them anymore. You know, I've learned my lesson, so I'm ready. I'm ready for the bowl games. Ready for everything. All right, let's get right into it.
Final game of the regular season coming up. Army Navy. All the trends, all the advanced stats within this season, within the context of this season, I should say to go ahead and take Army to cover the points. It's an 8-point spread thereabout, but the long-term trends within this game say Navy, no matter how incomprehensible, no matter how implausible it looks that they can cover the 8 points, no matter how bad Navy is, that Army Navy is Army Navy every single year, regardless of team quality. We have seen far worse Army teams cover spreads like this. Navy +8. I'm not even really going to spend time thinking about how that makes sense. It's what I'm taking because I will always take the underdog in this game. And go ahead, give me under 35. That's fine. Army could score 35 points, but Navy might not score any. There we go. This game is the same thing every single year.
It is the same thing every year. You can tell, I think, who actually watches Army and Navy in a given year by how they talk about the Army-Navy game when it comes up. Like, you're going to see people tomorrow for the rest of this week who are going to say things like, Army and Navy, they're always so fundamentally sound. And that's just like, okay, admit it. You didn't watch Navy this year. You have no idea, and you're just projecting to show how much you love the troops. I think that Army's much more sound this year, but I am staying away from actually betting on this game because you're right, Jason, it's the same thing every year, but I feel like the option invites weirdness from a betting standpoint, and I don't have a good enough read. So I'm going to decline to join you on those plays. I am, however, here with a couple of bowl picks. Is it time for a few bowl picks kind of as we look ahead to this month of December that we have here?
Sure are.
All right, I'm going to run a couple past y'all that I feel pretty good about. It's tough because when we're betting on bowls in the couple of days after bowl picks, after bowl pairings come out, you don't really know a lot of the time who's going to play in these games, especially the games that are like the farther away from the playoff you get, where you're going to have a lot of opt-outs, players just not participating in the bowl, which is fine. Also, you have a lot of lame duck or interim coaching situations in these bowls this year. Cincinnati and Alabama, nonetheless, on New Year's Eve in the college football playoff semifinals at the Cotton Bowl. I'm going to take Cincinnati +14 in this game. That's just a lot of points for Alabama to be laying here. And Bama is a obviously exceptionally scary machine at this point, given what they just did to Georgia. But Cincinnati might actually be more sound in the secondary than Georgia was in that game. Georgia allowed Alabama to run through a lot of holes in zones that Cincinnati might not leave available. And I think that we are going to find out pretty quickly that Cincinnati's defensive linebackers are much more serious than a lot of people realize. I think they can hang with Bama and keep that to within 2 touchdowns. In the other semifinal, I'm on the over at 43.5. I had a great time picking the over in the SEC championship last weekend, and watching that over hit in the third quarter was like, just what a joyous time to know going into the fourth quarter that you have already cashed on a pick, as I had with the over in that game. Part of it is that I think Georgia's defense looks less invincible than it did before, but also Georgia can score quite a bit of points, and we've seen that. I mean, we even saw it against Alabama. I think that Michigan has shown a couple of times this year on offense that it can air the ball out more than we maybe expected. So, like, I don't know that you need Hassan Haskins to run for 5 touchdowns in this game. Obviously, that would get us there. Or for, Michigan's running game to be as dominant as it's been the last 2 weeks against Ohio State and Iowa for us to find a way to get to 44 points in this game. So I feel pretty good there. In the Rose Bowl, Utah and Ohio State, that's a game where I don't expect a lot of opt-outs because it's the Rose Bowl. For Utah, that's like the pinnacle of what they can be as a program. And even for Ohio State, they'd obviously rather be in the playoff, but it is the Rose Bowl. Ohio State cares about the Rose Bowl. I think that they will try. I'm on the under in this game just because I think that the Utah defense is outstanding. The Utah offense has been outstanding, but I'm not sure it'll keep that up against a pretty athletic Ohio State defense. Not that defense can't get pushed around. I just think that given the way these teams play, somewhere low 60s seems a little bit more possible in that game. Pitt and Michigan State in the Peach Bowl. Jason and your great city of Atlanta. Pitt -4. I don't care that Mark Whipple, the offensive coordinator for Pitt, is not coaching in this bowl game and is leaving. Kenny Pickett is going to play, is my expectation. And I just think Michigan State safeties are bad. And Michigan State secondary is going to get torched in this game. And finally, and I'll give my national championship pick in a moment, Maryland and Virginia Tech. Maryland +1. Virginia Tech on an interim coach with several defensive starters already announcing that they are not playing. I expect Maryland will have fuller participation in this game. So I will ride with my alma mater, the University of Maryland Terrapins, plus a point, basically a pick 'em in the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium.
All right, well, I am looking at the Cincinnati, Alabama game, just like you, Alex, but I'm, of course, taking Alabama after, the past few times I've bet against Alabama. I can't keep doing that. So I'm liking Alabama -13.5. I think that I was shocked by how well they played against Georgia, but also kind of like Alex said, I mean, Georgia didn't perform to their best, So I think that, Alabama, though, is coming off some great momentum. I think that they're going to carry that into this next game and then go on to win the national championship. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that.
highly plausible. No bowl bets here yet for me. I am timid compared to Alex. I like to wait until a couple of days before, so we know who were any coaches stolen, are all the players playing, things like that. One I am obviously eyeing is Pitt. I love the Pitt pick. Michigan State's pass defense is actually bad. But the line is tumbling Pitt's way. Maybe it's rankings. I don't know what it is, but the line might get down to a field goal in Pitt's favor. And I will pounce on that if that is the case. If we're talking national championship picks, I have not closely examined the value yet. But assuming Georgia's number is favorable, I might lean that way. They equal Bama's talent. Everyone pretty much admits in the SEC title game, they left some things in the chamber. There is a quarterback change that they could make that would at least increase their ceiling, possibly their floor, but also their ceiling. So the value of Georgia as a national champion pick is pretty tempting for me. But I have not yet pressed the button there.
Well, this is a fun thing about having so many weeks in December until these games happen is you can either make additional plays or you can just wait and get plenty of time to get more information. I'm fine throwing one down right now on Alabama at +120 and advising that in this video. That is the best number that we have on the odds checker board for Bama right now. I think that they are typically, on a futures bet, picking the team with the best possible odds or the shortest possible odds is not really a great value proposition. In this case, though, where you would be able to win more than $100 on a $100 bet, positive vig on a pick like Alabama, I think they make the most early sense at this juncture of the month if you're betting, for the simple reason that while I do respect the hell out of Cincinnati, Bama-Cincinnati is by far the most lopsided on paper of the two semifinal games, given what we just saw from Georgia last weekend against Alabama. I think a lot of people rightfully will think that Michigan could win that semifinal. I think it is really unlikely that Cincinnati beats Alabama. It's not impossible. I just picked Cincinnati to cover a 2-touchdown spread, so I think that they're not going to embarrass themselves. But I think that you have to really like Bama's chances of getting into the title game. And if they do that, you'll be glad that you had them at plus 100 something in that situation. So I think that if you're laying some money down early at this point with what we know, could add some more on someone else later. But Alabama plus 120 or so is pretty good value to me.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, well said, Alex.
Roll Tide, Katelyn. Roll Tide. I'm here
Roll
for you.
Tide. Thank you for that. Thanks. Well, I think that's all that we have for this video, right, guys? We all good?
I think so. The tide is rolling to New Year's Eve, and I think we'll probably look at some more bowls. You know, there's 40 of them, and most of them are going to be between now and then. So maybe we'll be able to put some more in for those as the weeks go by, and we get a little better chance to see who's playing in some of the lower tier bowl games.
Well, on that note, Roll Tide, and hopefully we see you guys soon with some more bowl picks. And that's all that we have for this video. This was Beat the Odds College Football Edition on Odds Checker.